And I do this. Oh, just noticed the recording. I do this by asking questions, and basically, it basically turns into a coaching kind of session, but always through the question, with the question, from the question to ask for energy to show up so that you can answer your own question. I don't give people the answer for things. I help you find the answer in any area of life. I am also a business operations consultant, and sometimes in that area of my life, I do find the answers to things. Like my job is to connect uh, one part of business with the other and make them, play very nicely together. So in that part of my life, yes, I do find answers. But most of the day, I do spend a lot of time asking questions and helping people access their own consciousness and elevating it a little bit more, going a little bit deeper and feeling more space and more joy and more glory.
That's fabulous, Barbara. So tell us, what are we going to learn tonight?
Great. So tonight's workshop, I titled it "Organize Your Mind, Organize Your Life" because I sensed that there was this requirement of finding peace inside your mind. There's a lot going on right now in the world, and a lot of people are going through stuff. And for some, it's not easy to just process whatever information they're receiving because any kind of news, any kind of piece of knowledge or experience that you hear from other people, or that is not really nice and it's not really a positive one that makes you, feel very good about yourself or very good about the world or humans in general, that's just a piece of information. What you decide to do with that piece of information is up to you. And usually, or most of the time, what we decide to do with that kind of information is not very beneficial for our body and our mind. We tend to either um, attach to it, meaning, say somebody says something that's really worrying about somebody having cancer, and then you choose to buy that feeling, that emotion, that thought of feeling worried about having cancer, or even you worrying yourself about having cancer. That's not really yours, but you're getting, you're getting that thought from another person, and just in your natural empathetic nature of you, trying to be compassionate or being the other person's shoe, you unfortunately and subconsciously kind of grab that emotion, that thought, and that feeling for yourself, even though it wasn't yours to begin with. So that can help create stress in your life, and it just gives space for disorder in all areas of life, your personal life, life with family, love, business, like any kind of area in life. So I figure that today's workshop, when I ask the questions like what do these people require, what energy do they require, it was that organize your mind and organize your life. I'm going to start a little bit. I know you already did a little bit of an intro for me, but I'm going to go ahead and say a little bit more about me, this beautiful body that I have in
You
this
look so
lifetime.
beautiful in that picture. I love
Thank you.
it.
So that picture I took it, I think it was 2 days ago, because it's very cold in Orlando right now, and I didn't really have a jacket that would allow me to work. I work at my desk a lot of the time, and it didn't allow me to use my hands with ease in my keyboard. So I figured, okay, that was the only thing I had that would give me enough heat while I was sitting here because the heater is
Yes.
not working. I mean, I never turned on the heater when I needed it; it didn't work. So I took out my fox fur little coat, and it was very interesting. I did record a video about this, and I didn't post it. I can't remember why, but um, it was very interesting because since I started wearing the jacket, I did a lot of Zoom calls with clients and with team members, and as soon as they saw me with this huge coat, they were like, "What are you doing? You're in Florida." I'm cold. This is the only thing I had, and I look fabulous. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you
You
want to,
got it.
play with this? So that's another invitation for you to just have fun with whatever it is that you have at home. It could be, your lipstick. It could be a spoon. How can you have fun with this? Always be in the questions. That's one of the tools we're going to talk about. But anyway, back to me. I am a Venezuelan business operations consultant, and I live in Orlando right now. And I have a loving passion for guiding and supporting people in optimizing their systems in life and business. So basically, we are all part of several million systems that connect with each other, and we create with those systems what we know life on Earth. And sometimes living can feel very complicated. Like it can feel like, why am I doing this? It doesn't feel so nice. And when that happens, it means that our systems are not functioning properly. There's something wrong there. There's some connections that need a checkup, and that's when we start feeling unable to concentrate. We start feeling sad. We start feeling depressed. We start feeling anxious. We start feeling uneasy with things, with people. There's these little voices in our head that are talking to us all the freaking time, and it's not a nice conversation at all. And you basically feel very, very drowning, like in let's call it this energetic mud. Basically, you feel very heavy, basically. And when that happens, when you're feeling sad, depressed, and all of that, you really can imagine when you're in that position, you don't know what to do next. And that's the disorder. That's where the brain is disordered completely. When we choose, because we do choose it, like you have the option to choose to feel something different by changing your mindset, your thought, your feeling, and emotion by changing it right in that moment. But usually that doesn't happens because it's subconscious, right? It's something that we're not really paying attention to. We do it automatically. That's our automatic pilot. And with that saying that, I'm gonna go jump into our very first tool, which is recognizing your emotions. When we want to, the first thing that we need to do when we want to organize our mind so that our life can get organized, or we can feel this or have the sense of a little bit of order, the first thing that we must do is to get present with those emotions, identify it. What are they? Where are they coming from? So the effect of actually what's been shown in research, looking to find answers to why this happens on the brain, like what can help solve it, how can people go beyond it. It's a lot of research on heart and brain connection and coherence. The effect of heart activity on brain function has is something that has been really, really extensively researched for many, many years. Like there's people that have been doing this for like 50 years or so. And earlier research showed that the heart activity, when it occurs in a short time scale, over like it can occur over several or a short time scale in short heartbeats at a maximum. And so there's a place called the Heart Math Institute, and they study this connection between the heart and the brain. And they extended this research by looking at how that not the short scale but the larger scale of the patterns of the heartbeat of the heart activity actually affects the brain and how it functions and what messages the brain sends to the body, and that usually can translate into disease or the complete opposite, feeling ecstatic about something, or a situation or a person. So this HeartMath Institute, they've been studying for years this pattern, right? And they were able to demonstrate that different patterns of heart activity function like that usually go with different emotional states. Like when you're sad, you're feeling like the heart is super slow. When you're anxious, the heart is like super beating super fast. Like those emotional states are linked to the rate of the heartbeat. They were able to prove that those different effects on cognitive and emotional function are related to the heart, and that connection and that connection of the heart goes to the brain as well. And so during negative and stressful moments, that the emotions that are generated from that experience changes the heart pattern actually and makes a disorder. So it looks like a lot of lines. It looks disorder like in stress. It looks very
Mhm.
very in distress basically. And so when that happens, usually means that our ability to think, feel, or um, sense from the place of relaxation is completely inhibited because we're stressed. There's a blockage there. There's a barrier. We can't remember. We feel depressed. Like it's a chain, right? It's kind of like a cycle depending on what emotions are coming up through whatever we're going through, and that reflects in the heart activity and the brain activity. It's super interesting. You guys should definitely check that out. It's the Heart Math Institute that they're doing the research. And so they found that when people breathe, basically, or meditate, or when they're able to calm their heartbeat and go into a state of mind where they're not thinking anything, which is basically where you go when you're meditating, right? They were able to find that order is in place. And there's this like beautiful, you like Joe Dispenza says, you go from I can't remember the word, to wave. Like it's a beautiful wave in the exams. You can see when people go into that brain wave, it's usually theta. Like you go from beta to alpha to theta. When you go into those states, you're not stressed anymore. No matter what's going on outside in your environment, you're not stressed anymore because you're present with the body, present with the breath. When you're present with the breath, the heart starts beating in a beautiful pattern that then connects to the brain, and that's the coherence. It's kind of like music, basically. And so that's the goal, right? To reach that coherence with the heart and the brain, connecting heart and brain to have coherence through breathe, through the breath, through breathing. So the source of all of disorder is the stress, basically. The source of all disease is stress. So it's been proven by a few scientists that stress is really a pandemic, global pandemic affecting over 23 million people every year. A lot of people don't see it as a disease, but it really is. And it's the easiest to overcreate, like to overcome. Then when we don't care for that stress, it becomes a chronic stress, and then it starts affecting parts of the brain. It makes it not function properly, and that's when the disease is then actualized. And what that means is that that's when it happens here in this body, like it manifests in the physical body, and it usually means inflammation, cancer, a lot of colds and flus, and all the things that like emotional states that translate in the body as disease is usually rooted in stress. And so recognizing those emotions is going to be super important. The very first step that we must do to recognize those emotions so that we're able to manage the stress, calm down, breathe, be present with the breath, and then we're going to ask questions, which is our second tool. When you
Barbara, sorry about that. Before we move into the second question, you are mentioning something very interesting, and is sometimes we are not even aware that we are stressed, right? And and as you said, there is kind of like a deeper connection there of between your mind, your heart, your body. There is a disconnect there, and sometimes we are not even aware of that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's the hardest to spot, because usually for most of the spiritual people, I'm gonna say, or people that are wanting to explore that area of life that you want to improve yourself, people that are working on their personal development, it's harder for us to realize when we're stressed because we're usually in a very positive state of mind. Stress can really show up in many different ways. Worry is I think one of the ones that, for me at least, is the most sneaky, because I do care about others a lot, and so when I don't identify it sometimes as worry, but when I do, when I'm aware of that, I'm like, whoa, I start asking questions so that I can be present with the energy and then clear it if needed or make any change that's required. But yeah, that's true.
Fabulous.
Yeah. Any other questions? Not so far?
No, so far.
Great. And so when you sign up for this, though, you probably saw that pragmatic tools, to organize your mind, organize your life. And what that means is doing what works. So don't, that's one invitation that I give to you. Don't go looking for answers outside of you. Go always inside. And I know that sounds like super cliche and cheesy sometimes because when we're in that survival mode, when we're stressed, when we're stuck, we don't see that, we don't get that. But he's always the answer. Like once you once you go and do the work, you're gonna realize, oh yeah, I should have gone in because it's never out the answer. So pragmatic really means just doing what works, using the tool, whatever it is that it works from anywhere. Like it could be if you're Catholic, use a Catholic tool. If you're Jewish, use a Jewish, like whatever it is that works for you in that moment, whatever the energy is required, that's what's gonna work. One of the things that I love doing and is very common in a lot of practices. One is coaching. The other one is a set of tools called from Access Consciousness, which is another methodology for clearing and accessing consciousness, literally. But it really roots itself from coaching, I believe, and there's some ontology there too, like sources from the ontology, from ontology studies. But basically, asking a question allows you to become aware of the space that you could be creating that you're not acknowledging at the moment that you are experiencing that stress because you're in stress and survival mode and you're not creating that space. So being aware that living in the question can really, really change the energy of any situation. Um, when when you start asking questions, you will begin to see that always is a question that opens up a different door. It opens up a different possibility. It opens up another world for you. When we go and look for an answer, when we go and look for an answer, we always get stuck because there's no space there for anything else. We're always looking for that answer that we already decided is the answer for what we're looking for. So living in the question allows you to see other things, access more information, or remove information from whatever setting it is that you're getting the information from. And so asking questions, for example, one would be when you're really stuck and you're really stressed. What is this? Like once you already recognize your emotions, let me put that over here. Once you recognize all of your emotions, like okay, I'm feeling sad right now, and then you just breathe very consciously, feeling the air in your lungs. And I invite you to do that right now. I'm doing it as I'm speaking. Recognizing the air in your lungs and how it goes through your nose and through your mouth, that's an exercise for presence and being present. And you must do that until until you feel more calm, until you feel chill, until your body is not tense anymore. You got to do it consciously before you ask any questions. Be present. Be present. And then when you feel the space, I mean, I'm very mellow right now. Like the energy is super mellow, and I'm like, woo. But always ask the question. So what is this? What is this emotion that I'm feeling? What do I do with it? And mind you, who are you asking? You're asking yourself. You're asking your energy. You're asking God. You're asking the universe, whatever you want to call it. You're asking the energy around you so that we all have an energetic team, even though not a lot of people recognize that. But think of it as God, if you think on that, if Jesus, if you believe in Jesus, like whoever it is that you believe in, if you don't believe in anything, then it's you. You ask yourself these questions so that you can access more consciousness. So, what is this emotion that I'm feeling, and what do I do with it? And as you're breathing, the answer might come into like through a little voice in your head, or you receive information through a friend, like a text or something, or you read something, you look away and you read something specific. You know the answer. You're not looking for the answer. You know the answer because you are. What the energy that you require to identify that emotion and to know what to do with it. So, what is this? What do I do with it? And can I change this emotion? And most of the time, the answer is going to be yes. Yes, you can choose it. You can change it. You can choose to change it. So when we ask those questions, these are a set of questions from Access Consciousness. If you want to know more about them, go to accessconsciousness.com. So basically, it's just to bring you to your present moment. And we take this for granted, though. It sounds like, yeah, I could be saying this, and a lot of people say, yeah, be present. Are you being present, though? Yeah, you hear it a lot. Are you being it? Are you being that energy? Are you actually practicing it and using it to your advantage? Right now, with the silence, are you being present? I'm loving this energy right now. Like it's super, super. There's a lot of space here. There's a lot of like beings in this call here. I guess with me, I feel them with me, helping me deliver this message. We require to be very present right now because there are a lot of distractions. When actually that's a great, great opening for my next tool.
Barbara, before we move to the next tool, someone is asking about how the questions, how asking can help me to remove previous answers. So what I'm hearing is that we usually have like a lot of judgments, and we are accustomed to ask and find a cognitive answer. So I don't know if maybe you can clarify this for.
Absolutely, yeah. So I see the question is from Carol. So Carol, what point of view are you holding about that you don't have the answer right now? And why are you looking for an answer? What have you decided already about that inquiry that you have in your mind that you think you don't know the answer to yet, and you're still choosing to look for the answer when you already have it? When you are present, when you are present with yourself, when you've already, first of all, you need to recognize the emotions, though. Like recognize the emotion, become present, and then ask the question. Why is it required? So that you know what you're dealing with. Sometimes you don't know what emotion you're dealing with. And one tool I will recommend that I didn't add it here, it's the Wheel of Emotions by, let me Google it. The Wheel of Emotions by Robert Plutchik. I'm going to put it in the chat. So when you know what it is that you're feeling, this wheel is really helpful to identify what it is that you're feeling, because it has different dimensions and connections of those emotions, and it helps you identify where you are, basically. So it's a self-assessment. I'm going to put it in the chat. It's a self-assessment so that you can identify that emotion. So the questions always open space. So depending on the question that you're asking, it has to be the right question. And there's really no right or wrong question. There's a question that's going to work. There's a pragmatic question. So one that I really like is, are you being dramatic or are you being pragmatic? And sometimes the word drama can be very triggering for people, because I'm not dramatic, like I'm not a telenovela actor or actress. Oh, no worries. Perfect. That's a great example. Actually, you can talk to your body. And it's a real thing. You can actually talk to your body to help you heal through COVID. It's a request that you do of you and your body and your being and your energy to help the cells of it, to help you change the biology of your body in this reality. It's actually Dr. Joe Dispenza is studying this through meditation. So he's studying how meditation can actually, advanced meditators, that is, advanced meditators can change their biology by meditating and changing their thoughts, feelings, and emotions by choosing to change them. This is actually being proven, guys. Like it's actual scientists proving this, that it actually exists. It's not for loonies anymore. This is not for loonies anymore. It's being proven that we can actually change our bodies and our reality with only our thoughts and our states of mind. Wherever we are in life. If you have cancer, you can walk, you can heal. And so the invitation is, what kind of drama are you choosing there, Carol? In whatever, I don't know what you're going through, but Ask what percentage of drama am I choosing here? And drama is the suffering and the storytelling around a subject or a person that is not happy. If it's not happy, it's not fun, it's drama, usually. So whatever it is that is not bringing you joy, ask the question, what is this? What truth, what is this? What is this that I'm feeling? What do I do with it? That's a killer. Like the what do I do with it? Okay, sure. I'm going through this. I'm feeling this. What do I do with it? And the answer is gonna be inside. You feel the answer. Some people are able to hear like the answer. I feel the answer. It depends on how what your clairs are basically, or what your capacities with your body. But yeah, receiving the answer will be through you being aware of the energy in whatever room you are, or what in the mental space that you are as well. It could be another question specifically about the what's right and what's wrong about this I'm not seeing. What decision have I already made about this situation? And can I change it? And the secret, and not so secret, is we always have choice. You always can choose to choose again. So once you recognize the emotion and you ask the question, you can always ask a different question, and you can actually ask, okay, what other question can I ask here? And you get an answer. That's based on the ask and you shall receive. Is a proven energy too. Um, and then I'm gonna go jumping right into our next subject, our next tool. Where your attention goes is where your energy. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Joe Dispenza said that. Many others have said it different ways too. Like it's not new knowledge. We're just reinventing the wheel and doing it differently in this lifetime. But we've been here many times. And so where we place our attention is where we place our energy is very key. Sometimes, like when we do not know when we're stressed, we don't realize where we're putting our attention because we're distracted by whatever drama is going on. And so, where are you putting your attention today? Who are you gifting your attention to? Who or what are you gifting your attention to? What have you already decided is a problem? What points of view, what paradigms, what thoughts, what feelings, and emotions do you have that are creating and holding that problem in place? And 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 it always gets me. Where am I placing my attention right now? Right now, I'm placing my attention on this workshop and sensing energy and just being me, being very calm. I feel really calm right now, like unusually calm. I'm usually super hyped, and I'm not tired because I mean, my work day was super fine too. It was super calm. It's been a fun day. Um, so my attention right now is here with you. And where is yours? When we're stressed, our attention is everywhere. You can feel like it's everywhere. Everywhere but in. Everywhere but your heart. So when you place your attention in your heart, it starts sinking to your breath. And when that happens, then it starts creating coherence with your brain waves and with your brain. And when that happens, you feel amazing. You feel calm or you feel ecstatic. It's kind of like having a brain orgasm to a point. When you get to that point of beautiful coherence, it's a blissful place. It takes work together. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of work because we're very distracted and we think a lot. And to get the mind out of the body takes a while. But it really depends on your commitment to yourself and how aware you are of where you're putting your attention and where your energy is going. Just do an exercise every day. Okay, whenever you're feeling like uneasy or stressed, okay, where's my attention right now? Where am I putting my attention? Like for example, people that gossip. I used to love a gossip. Who does? Who didn't? Right? I mean, come on. The tia did that. Oh my God, my tia did that. My aunt did that. No way. I want to know more. those conversations, and I'm not even interested in that anymore because I'm aware now of the energy we create when we gossip, and it's horrible. It's horrible. It's like if you could see how that looks like, and I mean, as you meditate and as you do more of this work of connecting your heart and your brain, you're gonna be able to see stuff. It's not gonna be for crazy people anymore. You're gonna be able to see stuff. You're gonna see the energy that gossiping creates and all of the energies that come together when gossip is being done. So gossip is a very good example of where our attention is going. It's usually complaining about people or talking about their misfortunes, um, or whatever it is. It's usually not a nice thing. I mean, it could be fun gossip, right? Like sometimes it's fun, but there's always that shadowy thing in gossip that this is not fun. And once you're able to see and feel that, then you're, oh, okay, you're aware and you don't do it anymore. It's like it doesn't even come up, you know? It's very interesting. This is when you organize your mind, you start getting order as well and coherence in how you speak, how you act, and what you feel as well. It's a beautiful journey, to be honest with you. When you get there, it's a daily work anyway. Like it's not something. Oh, I'm illuminated. No, if you hear somebody say that, just run away and say, sure, you are illuminated for sure. That's what you believe. That's totally fine. Interesting point of view. You have that point of view. But it's daily work. We're human, so we're here. That's what we came here to do. To have fun with it. That's the only thing we came here to do because we're gonna we're gonna go through all the things that life can throw at us at work, with family. It gets more complicated with relationships and how we interesting is coming up. How we approach relationships, and that just makes it more like it seems to make everything more complicated because of the way of how we handle relationships. But the purpose is always to have fun with any kind of relationship in any kind of situation, no matter the circumstance. How can you make this better? That will be another question. How can I have fun with this? How can it make me more money? Is one I like to ask a lot about anything. How can this make me more money? Even if it's a shitty thing. How can this make me more money? How can I have more fun with this? I'm always choosing fun, ease, and money. Always asking for it, so I shall receive. And I don't put my attention on money, though. Like money on the currency type of thing. I don't put my attention there because that's not the energy. If you want to generate money, I'm not sure if somebody wants to make a lot of money here. Interesting. Um, when you place your attention in only money, 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 you're not putting your attention in money. You're putting your attention in the energy of need and lack, not necessarily in the money or the creation or the generation. Putting your attention in lack because you don't have it. So when you change that point of view, listen, I promise you, everything expands. When you relax and you choose to put your attention elsewhere, the money just comes. Money follows joy, like they say in Access. Money follows joy. It really does. So when you relax and you change your focus and you change the place where you place your attention, everything else just flows. It's just a beautiful thing. You just gotta be relaxed and present so that you can receive it. You really gotta be relaxed and present, no matter how shitty the situation might be. No matter how shitty, if you're about to die, that was a choice too. How can we have fun with this? How can I? Oh wow, okay. How can I help this person have more fun before they go? How can I make their stay for the rest of the minutes that they have left on Earth fun? How can I make them? How can I help them make this enjoyable for them? If that's what's required, always ask the question: What's required of me here? One that I use every day for work. As soon as before I get up out of bed, I'm just for work and life. Where is my attention required today? Where is my attention required today? And what energy is required here? So, for example, if I jump into a Zoom meeting, it could be about PR and a PR update, for example. But it turns out to be about something completely different, about operations, like something completely different. The energy required could be different, but with the people that are required, only a completely different subject. But when you ask, you're opening the doors for possibility so that you can become aware of what the energy that is required from you is. And then you just be it. You just talk about that. You just explain it. You just be that energy that is required. And this works with kids, like when they're either super stressed, the kids, or they're crying. Okay, what energy is required? You don't need to say it out loud. You can say it in your head. You are you're a responsible, conscious adult. You can handle that inside. Ask a question and perceive. How do you perceive? You have to relax and be present. And the perceive you will know because you just know. I cannot explain it to you. You just know. Kind of like when moms, when they know something that's going to happen, they just know. It's just intuition. You cannot explain intuition. You just know it. So when you are relaxed and you are present, you access information, but you gotta relax. You gotta relax. And then remember where you place your attention is where you place your energy. And then that's a great. Any questions here, by the way? No?
No, makes sense.
Okay, good. Cool. Thank you. All right, and then I'm gonna go into then responsibility wins, and I don't think a lot of people talk about this, but we gotta remember we're all responsible adults. Like our childhood already passed, long time. Like when, at least the people that are listening to this, right? Our childhood already passed. We are responsible for us right now, in this moment in time, in this time and space. It's time that we stop blaming our parents for everything that's happening right now. I know a lot of people are doing therapy, and sure, of course, everything is rooted in our upbringing, but we cannot be blaming the mom and dad and grandma and aunt and for the things that are happening right now. Sure, they are memories locked and encrypted in our bodies that we need to clear or are required to clear at certain moments in our lives. But when you're blaming other people, it's like, dude, how old are you being? That's a great question to ask yourself. Okay, with this sadness or this rage, actually, for this call specifically, I pull a card, of course, because I'm a witch. Um, and rage came up. I'm like, okay. So when we're feeling rage and anger, how old are we being? When you're present with that emotion, with that energy, ask, who am I being? How old am I being? Where is this coming from? Is this even mine? Who does this belong to? Like if they say in Access, is this even mine? And when should you ask questions? When you already recognize that it's anger or rage, and you're asking questions and you're present with your body. Okay, who am I being? Where's this coming from? What is this really? What is this? Because sometimes it's usually not the anger. Anger is just the expression of it, of that emotion. It's usually something completely different, which I would use the emotions wheel to identify if you have trouble figuring that out. So again, being present with that energy and remembering who we are, conscious adults that have choice and can choose to change a situation or their reality with only thinking it and just deciding to do it, is very important. So it's time, and my invitation to stop blaming anybody else but you about you and your life. If your husband is freaking you out and making you pull your hair out of your hair out of your head, why are you letting him affect you so much? If that biatch at work, if like she's making you really angry because she's just not nice, why are you letting her affect your mind so much in your life? Why are you letting that energy into your energetic space, into your energetic sphere? It's your responsibility. Why are you choosing? What else can you choose there? And so if you practice all of these tools, and these are just four, there are millions of tools. Again, these are just four that I found are really helpful for me in what I created. I have a pretty cool life. I really love my life. I'm very happy. I mean, it wasn't always like that, but once I started realizing of my power, and I'm still working on that, I'm still realizing my power. Um, it's a life changing journey, to be honest with you, but it's a daily thing. Like it never stops. You just grab more tools or have the knowledge to know how to handle it. And so you don't do it from the emotional, like the negative or highly charged, negatively charged emotional state. You do it from relaxation and from presence. So when you do it from there, you are you are power and you are control. Like you are an adult and what that means. Like what I'm saying is an adult for what that means, you are responsible. You have you have the tools and you know what you can apply here or where. And if you don't know, you ask questions. You will become present and you ask questions so you can access that information. And sometimes it happens very quickly. Right now, in this period of time that we're going through on Earth, things are happening or actualizing, manifesting, some say, very, very, very quickly. So you might, notice that sometimes what you think becomes real very quickly. So be mindful of what you think, how you act, and what you feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Barbara, we are running out of time, and oh my God, this time just passed by so fast.
It
And this
really
is
did.
so right. I'm like, oh my goodness. But it just to share a thought when you were talking about responsibility wins, um, just this thought came to my mind, and I just want to share it with everybody. As you said, we have the tendency to kind of blame someone else for the issues that we have or the situations that we're going through, and sometimes we do not realize how much of our own power we are giving to this other person that we are blaming for. And so I just want to invite everyone listening to us right now to kind of think about that and see, how much power you really, really lose when you blame someone else. You're giving all that power that belongs to you to someone else. And yeah, that's a thought. Barbara, I know before we leave that you have actually a very interesting resources for
Oh yeah.
everyone. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, so I call it like resources or like recommended sources. So if you can go to the, oh my God, I put the wrong numbers there, but just notice that. Go to the heartmathinstitute.com for more details on that heart brain coherence research, as well as the University of, like, go to the Joe Dispenza website. They have a proof site where they're collecting all the data that they're doing through the research in partnership with the University of California and Bond University as well. There's a bunch of other, Arizona, I just can't remember right now. And one of the studies that's actually published in a peer-reviewed journal is the one titled Large Effects of Brief Meditation Intervention on EEG Spectra in Meditation Novices by the Bond University. And Joe Dispenza is involved in that. But that's where they studied. And Joe Dispenza does meditation events, and usually they're measuring everything. They're measuring what happens in your brain and your heart and your body when you meditate. So they actually measure your bodily fluids. They measure excrement or poop poop. They measure the water levels in the room, humidity. They measure the brain waves and they measure the heart waves as well. And then once they connect on that information, it gives them a clue as to what happens when we meditate and where we go. So basically, it's called the quantum field, where we go when we meditate. That space where there's nothing, like you become nothing, no one, nothing. That's the quantum field, the void, the nothingness, basically. And then a book I would recommend you if you're starting in this journey, or if you'd like to know more a little bit about what happens in the mind when we start to work on getting order. It's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. It's a great book. Highly recommend. It's just kind of like a beginning stone for this kind of work, science science-based work on organizing the mind. So that like it's not only your life that gets organized, everything else around you and everyone else around you start getting organized, like in order, in that beautiful way to start getting flow, to start, being more aware of their energy and choosing greater things. And so
That's
my
great.
invitation will be to brains create greater than one. So if you want to continue talking with me, you can follow me on Instagram, or you can follow this link for a one-on-one session with me. And thank you so much for your attention today. I hope that your energy follows and that you clear and you start asking questions and being present. That will be the very first thing. Become present and enjoy your embodiment. That's why you're here, to enjoy it, to have fun with it, no matter what. Thank you.
That's awesome. Barbara, where is the confetti? I love the confetti in the presentation.
Oh, yeah, the confetti.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yes.
Love it. Thank you. Boy, just want to thank you so much, Barbara, for sharing all this awesome information with all of us. I just want to share everyone who took the time to connect with us. Please, 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 if you want to reach out to Barbara, we have shared all her information on the chat. For our friends in Facebook, so you can always visit barbaracaraballo.com. And of course, just follow her on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And if you want more information about Creative Prana, just visit our website, creativeprana.com, and also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody. See you next week.
Well.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.